Okay, Lucy, I hope you're there, Lucy. And this is for you too, Acadia, if you'd like. This is mostly a book for Lucy because it's kind of a younger kid book. It's maybe a first grader book. And Acadia, you're a second grader, so this is probably too young for you, but you might enjoy it. This is a story about Sylvester and the Magic Pebble. And Grandmommy found this book. She found it somewhere. So she said, "Hey, do you think the girls might be interested in hearing this?" I said, "I don't know, but it sounds like a good book to me. I'll read it and we'll find out." So here we go. And this is Sylvester and the Magic Pebble. And you know what? It's got a dedication in it. See, on this page right here I'm pointing to, it says, "To Maggie, Lucy, and Jimmy." That's who it's dedicated to. That's not the Maggie, you know, your cousin, and Lucy, that's not you because it's not spelled the way you spell your name, but somebody named Maggie, Lucy, and Jimmy. The author dedicates this book to them. Okay, here we go. Sylvester Duncan lived with his mother and father at Acorn Road in Oatsdale. One of his hobbies was collecting pebbles of unusual shape and color. There he goes. Katie and I have collected pebbles sometimes. We did it in Mexico. She's probably was too young then, so she probably doesn't remember it now. And I still have two of those pebbles. I have them in my house on the window ledge. I like to look at them now and then because it reminds me of good times. Lucy, you were there too, but you were just a baby and you were crying the whole time, I think. So you probably don't remember it either. Okay, here we go. There's Sylvester, and it says, a couple ducks in the water behind. On a rainy Saturday during vacation, he found a quite extraordinary pebble. It was flaming red, shiny, and perfectly round like a marble. As he was studying this remarkable pebble, he began to shiver, probably from excitement, and the rain felt cold on his back. "I wish it would stop raining," he said. To his great surprise, the rain stopped. It didn't stop gradually as rains usually do. It ceased. The rains vanished on the way down. The clouds disappeared and everything was dry. The sun was shining as if rain had never existed. Those ducks are very curious about what's going on. I see them looking up. Like, what the heck? Where'd the rain go? I think ducks like rain generally. They're built for it. In all his young life, Sylvester had never had a wish gratified so quickly. It struck him that magic must be at work, and he guessed that the magic must be in the remarkable-looking red pebble, where indeed it was. To make a test, he put the pebble on the ground and said, "I wish it would rain again." Nothing happened. But when he said the same thing, holding the pebble in his hoof, because Sylvester has a hoof, the sky turned black. There was lightning and a clap of thunder, and the rain came shooting down. "What a lucky day this is," thought Sylvester. "From now on, I can have anything I want. My father and mother can have anything they want. My relatives, my friends, and anybody at all can have everything anybody wants." He wished the sunshine back in the sky, and he wished a wart on his left hind fetlock would disappear, and it did. And he started home, eager to amaze his father and mother with his magic pebble. He could hardly wait to see their faces. Maybe they wouldn't even believe him at first. Ooh, look at this. As he was crossing Strawberry Hill, thinking of some of the many things he could wish for, he was startled to see a mean, hungry lion looking right at him from behind some tall grass. He was frightened. If he hadn't been so frightened, he could have made the lion disappear, or he could have wished himself safe at home with his father and mother. He could have wished the lion would turn into a butterfly or a daisy or a gnat. He could have wished many things, but he panicked and couldn't think carefully. "I wish I were a rock," he said, and he became a rock. That's him. The lion came bounding over sniffed the rock 100 times, walked around and around it, and went away confused, perplexed, puzzled, and bewildered. I saw that little donkey as clear as day. Maybe I'm going crazy, he muttered. Now what's going to happen? It looks like it's nighttime. And there was Sylvester, a rock on Strawberry Hill. And see, the pebble is right there next to the rock where it dropped when Sylvester became a rock. Got to be very careful about what you wish for. Okay. And there was Sylvester, a rock on Strawberry Hill, and the magic pebble lying beside him on the ground, and he was unable to pick it up. Oh, how I wish I were myself again, he thought. But nothing happened. He had to be touching the pebble to make the magic work, but there was nothing he could do about it. His thoughts began to race like mad. He was scared and worried. Being helpless, he felt hopeless. He imagined all the possibilities, and eventually he realized that his only chance of becoming himself again was for someone to find the red pebble and to wish that the rock next to it would be a donkey. Someone would surely find the red pebble. It was so bright and shiny. But what on earth would make them wish that the rock were a donkey? The chance was 1 in a billion at best. Sylvester fell asleep. What else could he do? Night came with many stars. Many stars. Meanwhile, back at home, Mr. and Mrs. Duncan paced the floor, frantic with worry. Sylvester had never come home later than dinner time. Where could he be? They stayed up all night wondering what had happened, expecting that Sylvester would surely turn up by morning. But he didn't, of course. Mrs. Duncan cried a lot, and Mr. Duncan did his best to soothe her. Both longed to have their dear son with them. I will never scold Sylvester again as long as I live, said Mrs. Duncan, no matter what he does. At dawn, they went about inquiring of all the neighbors. See, they got a pig neighbor, and they got some chicken neighbors. They talked to all the children, the puppies, the kittens, the colts, and the piglets. No one had seen Sylvester since the day before yesterday. They went to the police. The police could not find their child. Look, everybody's looking. Look at this. All the dog in Oatsdale went searching for him. They sniffed behind every rock and tree and blade of grass, into every nook and gully of the neighborhood and beyond, but found not a scent of him. They sniffed the rock on Strawberry Hill, but it smelled like a rock. It didn't smell like Sylvester, because he was a rock. He wasn't Sylvester anymore. Night followed day, and day followed night, over and over again. Sylvester on the hill woke up less and less often. When he was awake, he was only hopeless and unhappy. He felt he would be a rock forever, and he tried to get used to it. He went into an endless sleep. The days grew colder. Fall came with the leaves changing color. Then the leaves fell and the grass bent to the ground. And there he is, and there's the pebble. When it was winter, the winds blew this way and that. It snowed. Mostly the animals stayed indoors, living on the food they had stored up. One day, a wolf sat on the rock that was Sylvester and howled because he was hungry. The wolf is sitting on Sylvester saying, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. Then the snows melted. The earth warmed in the spring and things budded. That means the flowers start to come out. Leaves were on the trees again. Flowers showed their young faces. One day in May, Mr. Duncan insisted that his wife go with him on a picnic. Let's cheer up, he said. Let us try to live again and be happy, even though Sylvester, our angel, is no longer with us. They went to Strawberry Hill. Okay, they're trying to get on with their lives without Sylvester. And there they are. They're going to have a picnic on Strawberry Hill. And what a coincidence! Mrs. Sylvester is sitting on her son, Mrs. Duncan. Mrs. Duncan sat down on the rock. The warmth of his own mother sitting on him woke Sylvester up from his deep winter sleep. He wanted to shout, "Mother, Father, it's me, Sylvester. I'm right here." But he couldn't talk. He had no voice. He was stone dumb. He's just a rock. He can't talk. Mr. Duncan walked aimlessly about while Mrs. Duncan set out the picnic food on the rock. Alfalfa sandwiches, pickled oats, sassafras, and saw the red pebble. Sassafras, salad, Timothy compote, whatever that is. Suddenly, Mr. Duncan saw the red pebble. "What a fantastic pebble," he exclaimed. Sylvester would have loved it for his collection. He put the pebble on the rock. He put the pebble on the rock. So now Sylvester's touching the red pebble. They sat down to eat. Sylvester was now wide awake as a donkey that was a rock could possibly be. Mrs. Duncan felt some mysterious excitement. "You know, Father," she said suddenly, "I have the strangest feeling that our dear Sylvester is still alive and not far away." That's right, he's not far away. I am, Sylvester wanted to shout, but he couldn't. If only he had realized that the pebble resting on his back was the magic pebble. See, if he didn't realize that the pebble is a magic pebble, and so he's not making a wish, even though he could make a wish. Oh, it's just so frustrating. Oh, how I wish. Okay, so they're thinking about Sylvester, and Mrs. Duncan says, "Oh, how I wish he were here with us on this lovely May day." Mr. Duncan looked sadly at the ground. "Don't you wish it too, Father?" She said. He looked at her as if to say, "How can you ask such a question?" Mr. and Mrs. Duncan looked at each other with great sorrow. "I wish I were myself again. I wish I were my real self again," thought Sylvester. And in less than an instant, he was. There he is. He randomly thought, "I wish I were myself again." And so the magic pebble was sitting on him, and now all the salad is kind of falling off, and the sandwiches are. He's not acting as a very good table anymore. You can imagine the scene that followed. Yes, I can. The embraces, the kisses, the questions, the answers, the loving looks, the fond exclamations. Sylvester, he's crying. Is that the pebble down there? Hope they don't lose it. When they had eventually calmed down a bit and had gotten home, Mr. Duncan put the magic pebble in an iron safe. Okay, so they locked it up. Someday they might want to use it, but really for now, what more could they wish for? They had all that they wanted. Isn't that a lovely scene? There's Sylvester between his mama and dad. The end. Wow. Selected as one of the 100 best books of the century by the National Education Association. Wow, must have been pretty poor competition, huh? Okay, maybe we have time for another one. What do you think? Let's see. This is going to be a much bigger book. Oh, I don't think I can read this to you in the video. Look, this is too big. I have to read this to you live sometime. See, it's called, I can't even show it to you. Let me back the, it's called Snow Bear. Snow Bear, a soft-to-touch book. I'll just show you a few pages. I'm not going to be able to read it to you because I have to hold it too far away. Snow Bear. You just had some snow. As I'm recording this, I just saw a couple of photos and videos of the first snowfall in Colorado, and I saw Lucie making snow angels. Snow Bear. Snow Bear. It's a white bear. It's a white bear. Let's just flip through pages. See the pages? Oh, there's Snow Bear. Little Snow Bear. That's Mama Snow Bear. Ooh, there's Mr. Moose. Okay, we'll have to read this to you in person sometime. There's a little Eskimo girl. Little girl, I think in this picture, Snow Bear is lost, and the Eskimo girl finds him, and takes him back to his parents. So he found his parents again. Okay, we're going to have to read this summertime, Snow Bear, when you can be with me so that you can see it well. And so I guess that's it for now, Lucie. I hope you enjoyed Sylvester and the Magic Pebble, and I will try to find something else fun to read to you later. Bye-bye, girls.